Welcome fans to Carver Gymnasium for this evening's contest featuring the University of Alaska Anchorage Seawolves and your Western Washington University Vikings. Fans, at this time, please rise and remove your caps as we will honor America with the playing of our national anthem performed this evening by the Western Washington University Pep Band. Fans, tonight marks our third annual Pride Match. Working closely with the LGBTQ plus leadership at Western Washington University to celebrate this evening. Western Washington University head coach Diane Flick-Williams and University of Alaska Anchorage head coach Chris Green are the only two openly gay coaches in the Great Northwest Athletic Conference. Typically, this match features institutions whose core values discriminate against the LGBTQ plus community. But this evening is a night to show our university and program, how our university and program supports all and welcomes all. We decided to hold Pride Night with Anchorage because of the camaraderie between Diane and Chris, and have for this match be the umbrella and a positive example for diversity, equity, and inclusion. We want to emphasize the inclusion part of this evening and make sure everyone is welcome tonight. The collaborative effort with Johan and the LGBTQ plus department at Western Washington University has been amazing to work with and show the unification across campus centered around a common purpose. We want to thank the LGBTQ community for showing out tonight. We want to thank our allies for celebrating with us. We also want to thank those who are still unsure about how they feel about it all. Hopefully your questions can be answered and you can be able to see alternatives to fears or stereotypes. You too are celebrated for being here this evening. Now let's join a great night of volleyball right here in Carver Gym on Pride Night. Fans, now for our team lineups. First, from the visiting number 9 ranked Alaska Anchorage Seawolves. Fans, let's welcome to the team to the court, number 1, Riley Plumhoff. Number 4, Emma Beatty. Number 5, Jalen Douglas. Number 7, Makana Elenecki. Number 8, Emma Patterson. Number 9, Madison Galloway. And number 17, Anaya Grigsby. Now for the starting lineups. This evening's starting lineups are announced by head coach Chris Green. Coach Green is assisted by Associate Head Coach Stacy Meisner and Graduate Assistant Vera Pluhazova. Fans, now the starting lineup for the Seawolves. Welcome to the court, number 3, Nicole Blue. Number 12, Lisa Jaunet. Number 13, Ellen Floyd. Number 16, Eve Stevens. Number 18, Leilani Elder. Number 19, Isabel Evans. And number 2, the libero, Talia Aluanai. Fans, these are the Alaska Anchorage Seawolves. Viking fans, are you ready?
Dripping Dior to my heel. Pull up and hop out the whip to a lot of eyes. On me, I put on for real. Mixing top dollar designer with Jordan pies. Really like I gave him a couple tries, now I'm cutting ties. This my life, yo, entertainment. I want the money, being famous. Why is you 53 and still banging? Sick of these niggas, put me in containment. Umbrella in the rose, catch it rain. Going wherever the money take me. All is forever, that'll never change. Don't think about it, but I miss my
I want the spot. I got what it takes to get to the top. The money I make, cannot compete. They know that I'm getting a lot. They call it that, I'm getting a lot. I know she a thot, so give her a shot. I'm pulling that teeth, twisting my side. Hot, 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 hot.
Fans, now the team lineup for your number 10 ranked Western Washington University Vikings. Fans, welcome first to the court our redshirt players, Finley Clays, Caroline Hansen, Morgan Harrison, Anu Lopez, Delaney Spear, Emily Vassenkuhl, and Asia Stewart. Fans, now the team lineup. Welcome to the court. Number 4, Anna Vanderyacht. Number 5, Kylie Honrud. Number 8, Tupu Lologo. Number 10, Devin Ostrich. Number 13, Olivia Fairchild. Number 14, Abby May. Number 15, Carly Try. Number 16, Janelle Grant. And number 19, Adele Holland. Fans, now for the starting lineup announced by our head coach, Diane Flick Williams. Coach Flick Williams is assisted by James Suh, Michaela Hall, Chris Lebrons, and Brad Saindon. Fans, welcome to the court a 6-foot senior from Auburn, number 3, Anna Marisic. A 5'7" senior from Burien, number 6, Malia Aliaga. A 5'11" sophomore from Bothell, number 11, Gabby Kepley. A 6-foot senior from Duval, number 12, Chloe Ritzesender. A 6'1" senior from Auburn, number 18, Callie Heilborn. A 5'10" senior from Lake Stevens, number 22, Gabby Gunterman. And our libero, a 5'6" senior from University Place, number 1, Casey Woodruff. Fans, these are your Western Washington Vikings!
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to WECU Court on the campus of Western Washington University for this GNAC battle between Alaska Anchorage and Western Washington University. Number 9th ranked Alaska Anchorage and 10th ranked Western Washington University squaring off here to see who's going to be first in the GNAC and possibly host a regional tournament. I'm Sean Church alongside Zen Hill. First serve underway here. Zen, what do both teams need to do in order to come out on top tonight?
Well, these are the top 2 teams in the GNAC. We know that. They're both ranked in the top 10, as you said. The Seawolves, though, coming off a huge loss, an upset victory by Simon Fraser that was on Thursday. Vikings, of course, took the win on Thursday here at home. You had us here on Viking TV announce that one. But the Seawolves, they lost to Simon Fraser. Simon Fraser also this year took the Vikings to 5 sets, so a pretty talented team, but Simon Fraser is actually ranked 6th in the GNAC, so a loss for the first seed in the GNAC, who was undefeated so far in this season, is a really rough run to come off. If they want to dial it back in against a really tough opponent, the Vikings here at home, the Seawolves are going to have to play really well. They got to shake off that tough loss, and one of these teams is going to be the head of the GNAC after this night, and it's going to be exciting.
And Ellen Floyd starts it off, and she has a great serve to start. As the bump goes right back, Anchorage puts it away. They're up 1. Ellen Floyd, senior, with the serve here. Aliaga over the Kepling. She hits the corner. Her team is very pumped up here. 1-1. Vikings are going to serve.
And both teams are going to bring the energy today. We got a good crowd here showing out for the Vikings on a Saturday night. It's going to be electric all game, both sides giving it their all.
And it's already electric here. WECU Court. Abby May here. Getting ready to serve. Serving specialist season long. And on the attack, and goes right through. Eve Stevens, another senior. She gets the point. Anchorage up 2-1.
And Stevens in that game versus Simon Fraser where they lost, she got herself 22 kills and 14 digs. That is an absolutely insane showing for her. She's hitting a 365, which is 3rd in the GNAC, so she's a really strong offensive piece.
Tapped over by Gunterman. Pancaked, and they're going to allow it. Actually, nope, they're going to say it hit in, so point Vikings. Gunterman with the kill, and we're tied here at 2.
See on the replay right there, touch the court first, and that was the call, so the Vikings get the point there. Gunterman starting it off for her. She had 6 kills in the last match.
Tupula Logo serving it for the Vikings. At the net, on the attack. Deflected and out of bounds. So 2 kills for Eve Stevens to start this match, and back and forth we go. Anchorage is up 3-2.
So going back to that loss against Simon Fraser, it ended a 13-match win streak for the Seawolves. It was a really close 4 sets. They were all decided by a 2-point difference, except for the 3rd set, which was a 3-point difference. So a really rough loss for the Seawolves. They played it close, but you got to give Simon Fraser props.
That's a great dig and defensive play. Ritzesender right at the net. Seawolves on the attack, and good reaction time. Gutschman tries it again. She hits it. So far, both teams trading points here. Gunterman is going to serve.
We're seeing a lot of what we saw last year from Gunterman. This year, it's been more of Callie Halborn being that, quote, star, even though there really isn't a star for the Vikings. She's been the main point of offense, but Gunterman showing out tonight.
Big game here. Heilborn goes to the middle of the court. On the attack, blocked right back. Eve Stevens goes for it again. That one dug out by Woodruff. Aliaga over to Gunterman, and great dig. Ellen Floyd on the defensive. Stevens goes for it again, and Lologo's right there. Aliaga dumps it over, and that's good hustle. Another good rally here. Ritzesender goes for the line, but that is sent back. Nicole Blue right at the net. Stevens was also at the net. Actually, check that. Leilani Elder was actually at the net, but Anchorage leads 4-3 here.
Great rally from both sides right there, and it comes out. Seawolves, we saw that final point, of course, in Thursday. Had 50 combined touches. That one wasn't exactly 50, but still impressive, as these teams are both very talented.
Cross court on the attack, and that's a great block. Malia Aliaga at the net. Ritzesender at the net as well, but Aliaga is going to get the block. The Vikings tie it at 4.
This game so far is living up to the hype. We're back and forth so far. No team really taking a full hold of this game, and it's going to be an exciting one, a close one for sure. Hopefully the Vikings can pull it out for their home fans.
Woodruff with the serve. Cross court. That's dug out. Tapped over. Sent through. Anna Marisic destroys that ball. Vikings with the first run of the game for both teams. They're up 5-4.
Ball was just hit way too hard. Galloway didn't even have a chance at it. Just died on her arms.
And Woodruff serves it very well here on the defensive. Aliaga, cross court. Heilborn sends it through. 3-0 run for the Vikings. Vikings are up 6-4 here, and Woodruff is going to serve again. Woodruff, the senior out of University Place, Washington, Curtis High School. Stevens goes for it. Another good dig by Woodruff. On the offensive. At the net. Unfortunately, Countryman had her foot on the line. She's not allowed to do that.
An illegal back row attack right there. She cannot take off in front of that line, and it seems the toe is just touching it.
Barely.
By inches, maybe centimeters, but our referees are going to be on it tonight.
Riley Plumhoff sends it over, and that's going to be a service error. Gabby Kepley in the match now for Tupelo Logo. Malia Aliaga is going to serve for the Vikings.
It's the first time right there we've seen either of these teams seem to make an error or a misjudgment, mistake. They're all locked in.
On the attack, Stevens finds the middle of the court, and she gets it. Eve Stevens providing 4 kills already for Anchorage as they're down 1.
And Stevens is averaging 4.52 kills per set. That's first in the GNAC. I mean, we're going to run everything through her. We've seen it so far. She's playing great offense.
Marisic gets it sent back, and we're tied here at 7. Great defense by Anchorage.
Great job for the Seawolves to kill that run and find their way back up tied here.
And serving it for Anchorage, Makaya Enalaiki. Heilborn goes for the attack. That's dug out. On the attack again. And another great defensive play. I had given up on that point. Luckily, the Vikings didn't. Vikings up 8-7. You can see on this replay.
I mean, it's
great job by Woodruff.
That's just, Woodruff has been insane so far this game. She is putting her body on the line. The team's hyped up, too.
And Callie Heilborn is going to serve. Cross court on the attack, tipped over. That is great placement. Lisa Janet, the senior, with the point. We're tied here at 8. Ellen Floyd, also senior, from Pensacola, Florida. She hits it in. The ace. Great serve. So that one definitely just dropped off the table here, and Anchorage is up by 1.
Yeah, terrific serve right there. Definitely fooled Gunterman in that back line.
And Isabel Evans sends it back. Marisic on the attack. But Evans was right there as she blocked it and then sent it back. Anchorage is up by 2 points now.
Going on a little run of their own right now. The Vikings got a counter.
Set up by some good serving and some mishit. I would not be surprised if Flick Williams calls a timeout, and she does. So the Vikings were up early, but Anchorage is on a run of their own. 4 straight points, and we're going to go to a break. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Right before the break, Vikings getting a timeout, but you can see on this replay one of the great defensive plays leading to offense by the Vikings as Woodruff has been all over the court, but Anchorage on a run of their own here. Ellen Floyd is going to serve again. Gunterman right there, Aliaga. Gunterman, and that one's blocked right back. Good defense, but it goes out of bounds. So great job by Anchorage.
Also a really smart play right there by Eve Stevens to let that one go.
And good reaction by Kepley, but Stevens, great eye. Aliaga over to Kepley, tries to send the corner, and it's wide. So Anchorage right now is in absolute control. 6-0 run. They lead by 5.
Gabby Kepley so far tonight, she's been fed but unable to hit so far. Just that one nice little tap she had over the net, but her power swings are not there.
And an ace to her credit. And normally these timeouts, Vikings have been able to come back with a run right after, but Anchorage with 3 straight points since.
And serving is Ellen Floyd. She's earned all GNAC honors in her sophomore and junior seasons coming into this game.
Gunterman taps it over. Floyd right there. On the attack, right in the middle of the court. Woodruff out. Aliaga over to Gunterman on the attack. Deflected and out. And they're not going to call it.
Whoa. For sure a challenge here coming.
And a smart challenge by Diane Flick-Williams here. If anything, it's going to stop the momentum a little bit. From our angle, it looked like it was a deflected ball at the net. But the call in the court is that it wasn't, and it went out.
And this is huge right now. The Seawolves are up by 6 and absolutely dominating this first set after a close couple of points. Vikings really need this one to try and dial it back in. For the Seawolves, it's been all Eve Stevens so far tonight. She has 4 kills. Looking at her on the season, she has 440.5 points on the season. That is 140 more points than second place in the GNAC for total points. Second place in the GNAC is about 300 points. She's got 440. She has been insane for the Seawolves. I mean, they were undefeated until Thursday, and it's primarily been through the play of her. I mean, she's been phenomenal, and we've seen it so far in this game for sure.
The Vikings trying to stop the bleeding here. Like mentioned earlier, the call on the court is that it went out of bounds and it was not deflected. From our initial call, it looked like it was, but the officials need indisputable evidence to overturn it. So the call on the court is vital here. And like I mentioned on Thursday, this is not the NFL where random calls are just made at random times. The officials here are really good about making sure that indisputable evidence is what makes it from being a call on the court to being overturned.
And for this right here, I mean, this might decide the set. The Vikings, obviously the Seawolves have the Vikings number this season. They came in second place last year in the GNAC, but so far they swept the Vikings when the Vikings made their Alaska trip up there. And this is going to be a huge point decision here as they're taking a long time on it right now. It seems like scoreboard entered 1 point towards the Seawolves to 8-15, but it's not the current standing for the game.
The official score is 14-8. And if it gets overturned, it's going to go to 13-9. 13-9, rather.
Call's coming soon right here, it seems.
And the longer it takes is usually beneficial for the team that the call on the court is. And It is not overturned. So, again, the call on the court is really vital here.
So now our scoreboard will be correct this time, so it is going to be 15-8.
Kepley right there. Heilborn right in the middle. Anchorage with all the momentum right now. And a great job by Aliaga to keep it alive. Heilborn right there in the middle of the court. But just no offense as that one goes out. They're calling for a deflection. They're not going to get it. So the Vikings finally stopped the run. It was an 8-0 run before that. And even then, it almost went in as Abby May is going to serve for the Vikings.
Yeah, they're going to put in Abby May here. They need a good serve. She had 3 service aces on Thursday.
And that's a good serve to start, but Anchorage is right there to get an offensive as that one's in. So Anchorage still with all the momentum here.
And usually for the Seawolves, when you're not seeing Eve Stevens come over that net, you're seeing Lisa John-A. She's second on the team with 238 kills, averaging 3.01 a set. She's got 2 already.
And serving it, Madison Galloway, the freshman, another one from Pensacola. And she gets the ace. Anchorage is just in full control right now. It was 8-7, Vikings with the lead. And Diane Flick-Williams calls a timeout to talk things over. We're going to go to a break. Anchorage up by 8. And welcome back to WECU Court. Vikings with the timeout. Second of the set. Something they're not used to doing so far this season. Usually it's the opposing teams that have been calling the timeouts, as Anchorage is just on fire right now. 11-1 run for the Seawolves. Madison Galloway is going to serve again. Very impressive for the Seawolves to take this electric crowd out of the match so far, as Kepley goes for it and she gets it. A much-needed point for the Vikings.
Vikings just in search of something to savor this first set. If you look at the last time these two teams faced earlier in the season, the biggest point of margin was 6, which was the second set that the Seawolves won. Seawolves are on pace to have a large margin of victory here in the first set.
Vikings missing Olivia Fairchild as well on concussion protocols. That one goes long. And actually, they're going to say it was deflected, I believe, or they said it was in. So actually, the point will go to Alaska Anchorage. It's 19-10 now.
And when you look at the Vikings missing Olivia Fairchild in this game, she had 8 kills the last time these teams faced off. She was one of the only bright spots for them.
And even a fantastic play by Aliaga. 2 straight dump attempts. First one, I thought that was going to go in. Second one, she just put matters into her own hands, as you can see on this replay. And that is a great set also by Lalogo, as Gunterman's going to serve. Eve Stevens goes it on the attack. She has 5 kills now.
She's also back to serve, and I mean, she's an offensive threat, and then she also averages .58 service aces per set, which is first in the GNAC.
Cross court, Heilborn goes for it, and they're just everywhere. The Seawolves doing a fantastic job offensively and defensively so far. 50-50 ball, and Aliaga sends it over. Somehow there wasn't a 4-hit ball. The Vikings are just struggling right now to get anything going.
Diane Flick-Williams upset about that one. She thought it was 4 hits.
Eve Stevens is going to serve again. Vikings down 10. Anchorage, like mentioned earlier, they're on a 14-3 run right now. Vikings were up 8-7. It's been all Seawolves since, showing why they're ranked number 9 in the nation. And the Vikings at this point, they may want to try to get some momentum going into the second set, even if they don't win it.
So far, it seems that that loss to Simon Fraser has not shook Alaska Anchorage. They're coming out just as strong as we know they are.
Aliaga over to Ritza Center, tries for the corner, and that is dug out. They're reading everything like a book. That's tapped and goes out of bounds. Anchorage now 2 points away from taking this first set.
And a dominant first set it would be. I mean, holding the Vikings to under 15 points is a rare sight in any set. They're at 11 right now. With only 2 points away. This could be a absolutely blowout first set.
Eve Stevens is going to serve it here. Heilborn, Aliaga to Heilborn. As that one gets blocked and goes out of bounds, and I just saved
my life.
Zen's life. So, and that's a positive.
One of the little positives we can have right now is Vikings are down by 11.
Woodruff goes for the serve here as that one goes long. Vikings are going to have to regroup between sets here as Anchorage is at set point.
And at this point, you just got to have a short memory. You go into the second set fresh. You forget about this one. It was a rough one for the Vikings, and they just have to come out as if it's 0-0 and battle back. They'll be in a hole 1-0 sets, but they can bring it back.
Heilborn on the attack, and that one dug out by Plumhoff, who also served it. Stevens goes for it, and that's how the set is going to end. Complete domination by the Seawolves. Vikings were up 8-7, and since that point, Seawolves ended with an 18-4 run, and we're going to go into set number 2 in just a few minutes. We'll be right back. And welcome back to WECU Court for this GNAC battle between a 9th-ranked Seawolves and a 10th-ranked Vikings. Seawolves absolutely dominated the first set, winning 25-12. Let's go to Zen for some quick stats. Zen, take it away.
Yeah, in that first set, I don't think we've seen the Vikings get outplayed that hard here at home so far. I mean, the Seawolves had a .333 hitting percentage. Their team average for the year is first in the GNAC, which is .284. I mean, it was just all Seawolves right there. Eve Stevens dominated it. The Vikings had no answer to her. And so far, the Vikings are on a 31-match Carver Gym winning streak. Their last loss came in 2019, and it was against Alaska Anchorage in 5 sets. Right now, shaping out to be a similar story. But, of course, we have a lot of more volleyball left to play, and we know the Vikings can get hot at any moment. They just need to find an answer for Eve Stevens so far. And we need our offensive pieces to dial it in. Gabby Kepley was our leading killer, and Halborn yet to show that dominance we've seen all year.
On the attack, and Anchorage just picks up where they left off. Lisa Janet, the senior from France, she gets the kill. Anchorage up 1.
And that's just the dynamic duo of the Seawolves. When you go, you focus on Stevens, here comes John A. off the other side, and it's just unstoppable this year.
And Ellen Floyd continues to serve incredibly well here as she gets the ace, and Anchorage is up 2-0.
And that's the second ball handling error from Tupelo Logo. We saw one earlier in the first set.
Vikings just not playing like themselves at all, and Anchorage on the opposite end just dominating. And the Vikings will take a point any way they can get it at this point, as it looks like they, on the follow-through, Isabel Evans touched the net, so Vikings with the point, they're down 1.
And they needed that break there. The Seawolves were coming out strong, still carrying that momentum into the second set, and now the Vikings get a chance to answer.
Woodruff with a good serve here. Stevens right there. Woodruff providing some good defense thus far. But Anchorage is just all over the court. And right there, Janet again with the kill. Vikings down 2.
Janet spent her first 2 collegiate seasons at State College of Florida. She came here her junior year of college. She was second leading in kills that year with 2.47. She's second with 3.01 this year, right behind Eve Stevens.
Heilborn gets it through. Vikings down 1, and Zen. Vikings are going to need Heilborn to really come alive here.
Yeah, so far this season, Heilborn, to start the year, she didn't seem like the most consistent offensive player, but in the second half of GNAC play, she's really came alive. She's been that star for the Vikings, and she's been off to a slow start in this game, and she needs to dial it in if the Vikings want a chance at this game.
Cross court, and that's a great block by Kepley. So for the first time since the 8-7 lead the Vikings had in the first set, they've been able to string together 2 straight points.
And after having some issue with her attacks, Gabby Kepley gets the block right there. Hopefully boosts that confidence and gets her on that offensive attack for the Vikings.
And that's a good dig. Aliaga right there. Out of system play. Kepley goes for it, and she gets it. So great job by the Vikings trying to take back the momentum. They finally take their first lead since early in the first set at 4-3.
And Gabby Kepley is one of those players, if she gets hot, she is almost unstoppable. Back-to-back great efforts from her on both defense and offense.
That's a good serve by Aliaga. Cross court. Stevens somehow gets it over, and that's good reaction by Heilborn. Goes for the middle of the court, and it looks like it could have hit the ground, but it looks like they got the pancake there. Kepley taps it over. Good timing as it goes off the head, as it looked like Nicole Blue did that on purpose with the reaction time. That's good timing by Blue, but you can see on this replay
some soccer skills being shown on the volleyball court.
It's not illegal. It's just not necessarily advised. But you do everything you can as Woodruff is right there. Aliaga tapped over by Marisic. Stevens goes for it, and that's a dig attempt by Aliaga. Vikings were on a 4-0 run before that point, but Anchorage with the point, they're down 1.
Eve Stevens, a .429 hitting percentage, 7 kills that is.
Leah One-Eye serving it. Heilborn goes for it, deflected, and that is dug out by Floyd, and that is great hustle. And that is a great job by Anchorage right there. Not only did they save the point, but the hustle and the dig attempt by Stevens was a perfect assist to Elder to put it away, and we're tied here at 5.
I don't know how they still got an attack off of that. That was ridiculous. Usually you see a free one going over on plays like that.
Kepley taps over. Floyd reads it like a book. Blue sends it through. She gets the point, and Anchorage is up 1.
Just unable to get the clean block right there. Both teams going back and forth as we saw to start the first set, but once it hit about 8-7, the Vikings lost control.
Leah One-Eye gets the ace. And this is what Anchorage did in the first set. Up 7-5 here, and Leah One-Eye is going to serve again after the ace. Leah One-Eye, another good serve, barely saved by Heilborn, but Anchorage is going to be on the offensive right here. Floyd on the attack, and that's a clutch block by Heilborn.
And she's hyped up about it. She knows it's a huge block. We saw the Seawolves go on a 4-point run, which led to a Vikings timeout, and then another 3-point run before the Vikings ever got another point. So avoiding those large runs by the Seawolves and the Vikings finding answers is what they need to do if they want to win this second set.
And Heilborn's going to serve as well as they get an unfortunate break. As that serve goes into the net. Anchorage up 2, and Stevens is going to serve.
And the Vikings, 9 attack errors on the game, 2 service errors. Not what they need in a competitive match tonight.
Gunchman right there, Aliaga. Cross court to Kepley, and Kepley trying to place it. Anchorage is reading it very well as Woodruff is right there. Aliaga over to Mersic. That one deflects off the net on the defensive. Blue goes for it, and that is a great block, but fantastic job by Elder. She gets the kill, and Anchorage is up 3.
And Madison Galloway with that phenomenal dig that kept that possession alive. The Seawolves are just playing great defense. They have answers to every zone of the court, it seems.
Aliaga over to Gunterman, as that one is dug out right off the speaker, and that's in play. And they keep it alive. A lot of the time, no one really knows how to play off of that, but just like the Metrodome or Tropicana Field in Tampa Bay, the speaker is in play. That is something you probably weren't able to see on the Gamecast. But that block attempt by Floyd goes out of bounds. Vikings down 2. Abby May is going to serve. They need a good serve by May, and Blue right there is the give and go, and it deflects. Nobody's there. Anchorage with the point. They're up 3.
And that's been the difference so far. You see the Seawolves, when they get their deflections at the net, they have someone backing them up in every spot of that court, keeping the play alive for them. The Vikings, though, they're getting up there at the net, but unable to keep alive past there, and that's what's led to a lot of successful attacks from the Seawolves.
Riley Plumhoff serving it for the Seawolves. Kepley goes for the power, and Leilani Elder right there to send it back. Anchorage, again, in full control here, going on another run. They're up 4. Woodruff right there. Aliaga over to Gunterman, and that one goes long. We're going to probably see another timeout here, and that's what we're going to see. Anchorage, again, in control in this second set. 9th-ranked Seawolves taking on 10th-ranked Vikings, but it's all Seawolves so far in this match. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Anchorage taking on Western Washington University. Seawolves are ranked 9th in the nation, Vikings ranked 10th. But Anchorage is in full control in this match. All together. Off the timeout. Anchorage has yet to call one. They haven't needed to. Tapped over. As that one goes out. So the Vikings, for the first time tonight, come out of a timeout with a point. As Anchorage has gone on some crazy runs here. Tupulalogo in the match now. She's going to serve. Before that point, Anchorage was on a 9-2 run. I guess they're now on a 9-3 run as Stevens goes behind the net. That's a good dig. Tapped over. Timing seems to be off by the Vikings all the way today. Aliaga over to Ritzesender. Sends it through, but it deflects. And it doesn't look like they're going to call a deflection.
And Ritzesender was very upset about that one right there. We're going to see, a challenge from Diane Flick-Williams right here.
Another challenge on the court. And this is deja vu. This was around the same score as the last challenge was in the first set. It was it wasn't a successful challenge by Diane Flick-Williams and the Vikings. But this one is also very important here. And if we get the scoring right, I wasn't able to get the scoring right in the first one. I was a little confused. But if the scoring is correct, if the call on the court stands, it's going to be 13-8 Seawolves. But if it's overturned, it's going to be 12-9 Vikings with the serve and down 3. Second straight replay challenge here, and the second straight time that me and Zen here, or at least me, thought it was deflected, but again, the call on the court is that it was not. Indisputable evidence needed.
Yeah, back in the first set, I thought that one was deflected too. Turns out it wasn't. Looked like it was here from our angle as well, but referees are what is going to make the decision here. They're going to take their time with it. Vikings coming into this game 15-4 overall. The Seawolves 21-2. All 4 of the Vikings losses have come against ranked opponents, that is, and Seawolves are showing out. Of course, another ranked opponent in that top 10 for NCAA Division II.
And the point is going to go to the Vikings. So a successful challenge, and that was needed, Zen, as the logo is going to serve here for the Vikings. So Diane Flick-Williams now 1 for 2 on the night with challenges.
Yeah, it seemed after that challenge in the first set, the Vikings really died offensively and struggled there on out. They get the one going this way for them, though, and they need to take advantage of it.
Tupulalogo serving it. Dumped over by Floyd, and great job by Ellen Floyd. Bounce back from the replay for a quick point. Anchorage is up by 4.
And Ellen Floyd, she's a senior here for the Seawolves. She took over as the primary setter during her freshman year.
Anchorage, fantastic defense. Sent over to Stevens. Stevens gets another kill. She has 8 on the night already. Anchorage up by 5 here. 50-50 ball. Anchorage on the offensive, and they send it through. And everything is going right for Anchorage tonight. They have came ready to play.
And the Vikings just have no answer. It's been all Seawolves on the attack. They've come out strong. Some really hard hit balls that the Vikings cannot just get.
And Ellen Akey gets an ace, and Anchorage is up 16-9. the 4th timeout of the night so far for the Vikings. Anchorage yet to call a timeout. Just shows how this match is going. We're going to go to a break. Anchorage up 1-0 and up 16-9 in the second. We'll be right back. And welcome back to WECU Court. 9th-ranked Seawolves taking on the 10th-ranked Vikings. 9th-ranked Seawolves in full control here, up 16-9 in this second set. They won the first set 25-12.
Seawolves have 7 service aces on the game so far. They're second in total in the GNAC, first in average per set with 234.
On the attack and blocked and sent over. And for the 3rd time, Anchorage has came back from a Viking timeout with a point. As you can see on this replay, timed perfectly by the Vikings, but it goes out of bounds, and everything is going right for Anchorage. And Zen, they're showing that.
Yeah,
that Thursday upset at Simon Fraser, they are not playing like that tonight.
Yeah, and after that loss, Chris Green said that Simon Fraser was able to take advantage of the Seawolves' mistakes. The Seawolves didn't win that serve pass game, and he was saying that they dug themselves into too big of a holes in the sets. That's where they were lost, and so far we're seeing the Vikings do that, not the Seawolves, and they've just come out way stronger than the home team.
A good serve by Gunterman. Vikings right there, finally on the offensive, tapped over, but Anchorage just everywhere on the court. Stevens goes for the middle. Gunterman digs it out. Heilborn goes for it. Blocked, deflected. Stevens right there. Floyd all over the court. But that is a great block and much needed defensive play by Ritzesender to send it back. Vikings down 6.
And I don't know if it's just pure talent or film study, but the Seawolves they are getting in every single zone that the Vikings attackers are aiming for, and they've just been there every time. Vikings' main points are coming off blocks or just light little taps on the lucky play.
As that one goes wide, and I was just going to mention, Vikings need to serve much better here, or at least avoid the service errors in order to get back into this second set. But Floyd is going to serve. A good serve by Floyd. Somehow Woodruff bumps it to Heilborn for a good assist. But the Vikings now down 6, and Zed, it's not about going into momentum for the 3rd set. They need to take this second one.
Yeah, this is just, it's a must win for the Vikings here. If you go down 2-0, you got swept the last time these two teams faces. That would be 5 straight set losses to this squad, and there's no coming back from that at that point.
Aliaga over to Marisic, and she hits it wide. They're asking for the deflection. They're not going to get it. And if you're Diane Flake Williams, you might want to challenge it here, but it looks like you're not going to, as you can see on this replay. Not sure there'd be enough evidence to overturn that one. Anchorage up by 7 here. Madison Galloway is going to serve, the freshman from Pensacola, Florida, all the way across the country over to Heilborn. Anchorage right at the net. Second try for Heilborn, deflected right at the net. Anchorage on the offensive once again as Blue goes for the middle, and she gets it. Nicole Blue. And the Vikings here trying to change things up as we see a couple players on the court now. Devin Ostridge, the redshirt freshman. Also, Carly Tree, the redshirt freshman, in the match for the first time. Usually you do not see this kind of desperation move by Flick Williams, but she's trying anything at this point. As a point goes to Anchorage right now, 21-12.
And for the Vikings, Devin Ostrich comes in. She made a rare appearance a couple games ago against Simon Fraser. She got herself 8 kills and 11 digs, so Diane Flick Williams calling on her for this game.
Vikings just out of sync right now completely. Not the team we've seen all season long. Anchorage, on the other hand, playing some fantastic volleyball, not beating themselves.
Seawolves won the first set 25-12. Right now, 3 points away from repeating that.
And Ostrich with the tough set here. Floyd, that's a great save, but to no avail, as that one's going to be 4 hits. Kepley coming in the match now. She's going to replace the logo. And Aliaga is going to serve. And the Vikings are going to go on a run. They need to do it right now. 22-13. Aliaga gets the ace.
Much needed point there as they try to get their way back into this one.
Aliaga, another good serve. 2 straight aces. Vikings down 7.
Aliaga used to being that dime dropper for the Vikings, always being in the right place, setting up the attacks, but she's serving it really well and keeping the Vikings in the set.
Aliaga, another good serve. This one handled a lot better, and a veteran move. Ellen Floyd taking advantage of the open court right there that the Vikings left. Anchorage now 2 points away from taking this second set.
That's the second time Ellen Floyd's pulled off a move like that as a setter, catching the defense off guard.
Heilborn, some great defense, and blue keeps it alive. Cross court, Heilborn goes for it again. Anchorage all over the court, and they're going to get another point as blue sends it through. And even though we mentioned that the Vikings are out of sync, Anchorage is the opposite right now.
And we're seeing Nicole Blue, who's only a sophomore, but seeing a lot of attack attempts here. She's got 158 kills on the year with a .233 hitting percentage, averaging 2 a set. She's came alive in the second set.
Leah One-Eye was the one with the serve. Great job by Heilborn, going for the middle of the court here. And we got a packed house here at WECU Court, but Anchorage has not been phased one bit tonight.
Vikings have to feed off that energy coming from their fans.
Heilborn at the net, just gets it over. This is set point still. Stevens goes for it, and she gets it.
Looked like it was going to go long there from my eye, but Heilborn might have had a better look at it. Unlucky break for the Vikings to lose the second set.
And we're going to go to another break here. Vikings down 2-0 as they lose the second set, 25-16. We'll be right back in a couple minutes.
In NCAA Division II, student-athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student-athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student-athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Dear college sports,
there's light at the end of the tunnel.
A return to normal, and all we love about sports.
You've instilled resilience, focus, and selflessness in us. We've put those lessons to work.
We've found strength and unity in each other.
You continue to take us places we never imagined.
You bring out the best in us.
So when we look forward, we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We see a better world for all of us
and for college sports.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student-athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student-athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student-athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
And welcome back to WECU Court for this GNAC battle between Western Washington University and Alaska Anchorage. Alaska Anchorage ranked 9th in the nation, Vikings ranked 10th, but Alaska Anchorage in full control in these first two sets. They won the first set 25-12, and they won the second set 25-16. Let's go to Zen for some quick stats.
I mean, it's been all Seawolves so far. They are hitting .295 compared to the Vikings' .030. So Vikings really having an off night. They've amassed over 20 errors on the game, and so far it's just been all Seawolves. We've seen Eve Stevens really take care of everything on the offensive side. Lisa John-A providing that too, and the Vikings have been able to find successful offense in Ritza Center as we're used to seeing. Kepley has had a .091 hitting percentage, so just inefficient for the Vikings, and they're down 2-0. They need a massive rally and comeback here, and they might stick with it. Devin Ostrich is going to remain out there for the Vikings as well.
And the Vikings are missing Olivia Fairchild, but it has definitely been more than just missing her, as the Vikings have just not been in sync. Anchorage, on the other hand, playing just some fantastic volleyball, showing why they're ranked number 9 in the nation. Stevens goes for it. That one dug out by Aliaga. Out of system play. Kepley starts it off, taps it over. She's tried that a number of times today, but Anchorage has read it like a book, and the Vikings up 1-0 early.
And a rare mishit right there from Lisa Johnnet. And going back to that missing Olivia Fairchild, for the Seawolves, they have Isabel Evans playing that middle blocker role at 6'3". The Vikings' tallest player on the team is Olivia Fairchild, who's usually also playing that middle blocker role. So a height advantage for the Seawolves has led to some good blocks, and she's also had those successful attacks against our front.
And that is a great serve, and that's going to be an ace. Tupulalogo puts the Vikings up 2-0 early here in this third set.
And that's what Tupulalogo does best for the Vikings. She comes in and gets successful serves. They rely on her a lot, and she's showing out so far.
Tupulalogo serves it again. That one goes wide, though.
Jinxed it.
You did. That's your fault.
I take full responsibility.
Well, I'm glad you're holding yourself accountable.
In the box score, it should say Zen cost us the third set if we end up losing this one.
I think that's what I'm gonna. This third set's under protest. Vikings having a tough time when it comes down to the serving of Anchorage all night long, as Stevens continues to dominate. She is now in double digits for kills at 10. And Anchorage is tied it up at 2.
And at this point, you see the Vikings still just trying to shake off those, miscues on the blocks or their errors. They're trying to nod their head and stay in positive attitude. But down 2-0, you wonder if it's affecting them more than just what they're showing. Wow. He did it twice.
I saved the monitor again. I'm all about saving electronics and saving Zen's life. Vikings are up 3-2, and Ostridge gets her first kill of the match. And she's going to serve here. Redshirt freshman, good serve. Tapped over, and Stevens is just in the zone tonight. Right there, that was a tough set, and she ended up adjusting and tapping it over the net.
Also
Great job.
With the left hand, too, right there, showing out. She was winding up that right hand for the strong hit and just popped it over. Some great misdirection.
Heilborn gets it through. And this is how the first set started, and actually the second. So Vikings have started out both sets pretty good. But around this time in the first couple sets is when Anchorage really took off. So the Vikings really trying to make sure that doesn't happen here in the third.
What might happen is the Vikings are going to end up at 8 points, and there's going to be a challenge called.
That is probably what's going to happen, as that pancake attempt by Woodruff is not going to be successful, and we're tied here at 4. And a rare air so far for Stevens, as she's been on top of everything. But she sends it into the net. Vikings up 5-4. Carly Tree in the match now for the Vikings. Another redshirt freshman, as Diane Flick-Williams trying to get something going. She started it in the second set. And what Anchorage has done so far is they have prevented the Vikings from getting on any sort of long run.
And that's been the difference so far. I mean, the Seawolves have gone on multiple 3 to sometimes even 5-point runs that the Vikings just have no answer to. It seems like the most points at a time the Vikings can get are 2. Usually just 1, though.
Because that one looked like it may have been going out. Heilborn decided to take it, but she had the best angle at it. Stevens goes for it again. That dug out by Aliaga. Out of system play. And a great job by Stevens. Anchorage keeps it alive. Kepley on the attack, and that one dug out again at the net. Was that one dug out again by Ostridge. Aliaga over to Kepley. Sends it through, dug out. Stevens sends it as that one goes wide. And we might see The first challenge of the match by Coach Chris Green. He's not going to challenge it. That one did look out, but he also has not challenged a point yet, and he's not going to. So point Vikings. Vikings up 6-5 here. Heilborn is going to serve right in the middle of the court. That's a good serve by Heilborn. Great job by Floyd, but a great reaction by the Vikings as they're on the offensive, and Stevens just continues to absolutely destroy the Vikings right now. 14 kills to her credit. She is hitting above 400, and we're tied here at 6.
And for the Seawolves, they got 43 digs on defense already. They're having an answer to everything. Leawanai has 16 herself, the libera.
Stevens again. 15 kills for Stevens. She also has 4 digs. She has a couple, actually check that, 1 ace to her credit. So far, Stevens just dominating as well as Anchorage as a team. And it's all starting with some great serving. As that one goes long, so Anchorage, just like the first 2 sets, they were down 6-5. They're now on a 3-0 run. Makana Elenaki is going to serve here. She served the last 3 points for the Seawolves as Kepley goes for it, and that's what the Vikings need. Kepley has that power, but so far this match, she's kind of tried to do a lot more placement attacks, but they might just need her to just reel back and go for that attack and the power.
Yeah, the majority of points for the Seawolves have come off those strong hits, and we see the Vikings trying to get those more finesse ones, not really putting their all into it. And right there, they get a successful point, maybe be a tail for the rest of the game.
And that is a fantastic play again. Ellen Floyd, a ton of experience there. She gets the kill. Anchorage up by 2. Floyd now with 3 kills to her credit. She also has 3 aces to go along with 23 assists. Vikings aren't able to get those kind of points. It's not their night. But Ritzesender sends it through. That's how you be strong. As Ritzesender really should have got credit for that first one, but the Seawolves just having some fantastic defense, but she stays alive, stays within the point. Vikings down 1.
And Ritzesender with 3 quiet kills on the game. Her loudest right there, of course, as the Vikings try and stay in this match as long as they can. They need Ritzesender to come alive for them.
A good serve by Lalogo. On the attack, but that one doesn't go in. Point Alaska Anchorage. Janae is the one with the kill. Blue back in the match now for Plumhoff. Janae also out. Madison Galloway in. Vikings with the great timing, but it goes out of bounds. Yeah. Nothing's bouncing their way.
A rare miss for Ritzesender as she's second in the GNAC in blocks per set.
And Stevens right in the middle, dug out by Heilborn, out of system play. Floyd right there for the dig. A little bit of miscommunication there. Tapped over to live another day. Aliaga, Vikings need this point. Ostrich. Cross court, Blue taps it over. Ostrich right there. Aliaga over to Heilborn, and that is dug out again by Floyd. They are covering all of the court tonight. That one is blocked and goes out of bounds. The crowd trying to get these Vikings back into this match. They are down 1. Ostrich is going to serve.
And that was Chloe Ritzesender once again. We're used to her being a very consistent player for the Vikings. She's always going to get her fair share of kills in every match and play that great defense. Wasn't the tail to start this match, but she's came alive with 4 kills.
Ostrich with a good serve by the redshirt freshman. Vikings on the offensive now. Aliaga cross court to Heilborn, and that one blocked, but good reaction by Ostrich. Heilborn tries one more time, goes for the middle of the court. Anchorage again with a great defensive play. Ostrich right there to dig it out. Out of system play over to Heilborn as it goes off of her palm into the net. Anchorage up by 2.
I mean, if there's one good thing you take away from this game for the Vikings, you know you have a future with Devin Ostrich. She had a really good possession right there, and so far with her being subbed into this game, she's provided some great defense and offense for the Vikings.
Leah One-Eye is going to serve. She has 20 digs tonight. Service error for Anchorage. They have not made a lot of mistakes tonight. Vikings will take advantage of those said mistakes, or they'll try to at least. Tree at the net. Another redshirt freshman. Ostridge also in there. That's a good serve by Woodruff. Stevens, and that one in. Stevens just having, again, a great night.
And
16 kills to her credit.
Just a phenomenal night, and what we haven't seen for the Vikings through these last 2 sets is last season's GNAC Player of the Year, Gabby Gunterman, to make an appearance. She's right in the bench in these last 2 sets. Flick Williams with the strategy.
And Tree gets her first kill of the match. The logo out, Kepley back in. Coach Diane Flick Williams trying to get something going by putting in Ostridge and Tree, both redshirt freshmen, but that one goes long. Vikings can't afford those service errors.
Seems like time and time again tonight we've seen them have a really strong offensive possession, gain the point, and then when they go to serve, it's a service error. They're going long or they're hitting it into the net, and it's what's killed most of their runs that they've been trying to go on.
And only 3 aces to 5 service errors as Heilborn tries to send it through. Stevens again all over the court as that one goes long. They're asking for the deflection. They're not going to get it. Vikings down 1 still.
And despite being down 1, this is the closest they've played in the sets so far. Going this deep, that is. We've seen them fall apart towards that 10-point range.
And Heilborn almost hits it long. On the attack as that one goes into the net. And Vikings, for the first time tonight, have tied it up in double digits. And I don't know if that makes any sense then, but pretty much what it means is the only times they've tied it up has been early in the sets. And they actually have taken the lead as Heilborn gets pushed in a good way. She gets the ace. Vikings are up 14-13.
Vikings putting together a strong run.
Heilborn needs a good serve here. Tapped over. That was a dump attempt by Floyd. Kepley goes for the middle, and that is dug out by Stevens. I would not be surprised Stevens gets GNAC Player of the Week for her performance tonight. But Ostridge puts it through. And for the first time tonight, Alaska Anchorage is going to call timeout to talk things over. Vikings trying to come back here. They are up 15-13 in the third set, but they are down 2-0. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Vikings trying to claw their way back into this match. 10th ranked Vikings Down 2-0 to the 9th-ranked Alaska Anchorage Seawolves. And for the first time tonight, Coach Chris Green called a timeout. Diane Flick-Williams has already called 4, showing how this match is going. She has not called one this set so far. The Vikings turning the tables a little bit here. And that was a clutch point coming out of that timeout to keep the run going.
And Gabby Kepley finds herself her 7th kill for the game. With the lack of an offensive piece such as Gunterman not being on the court in the last set and a half, it seems it's been all Kepley.
And Heilborn gets another ace. That is her 2nd ace of the match. She has 8.5 points. That is a team lead.
She's also coming off a game with a pair of aces. Repeats that for this game today.
And what's crazy, Zen, is she has 8.5 points. That is a 2nd for both teams. But first is Stevens with 18.5. Showing her domination defensively and offensively tonight.
Yeah, and as you said, I wouldn't be surprised if she made her case for GNAC Player of the Week, maybe even GNAC Player of the Year with the year she's had if the Alaska Anchorage can have a successful season.
That's good hustle by Aliaga. But that is going to be a point to Anchorage. But the Vikings still up 3 here, trying to force a 4th set and even a potential 5th set, not getting ahead of themselves. Also trying to take first set of the year. It's weird to say that, as Tree sends it through, and we're seeing Ostrich and Tree come alive here as Coach Diane Flick-Williams trying to get things going here, putting them in at the end of the 2nd set. And sometimes you'll see it. You don't see it very often, but sometimes you'll see Coach Diane Flick-Williams try to switch things up to try to get some of the momentum turned. They've definitely stepped up so far. Abby May serving it here, and she gets the ace! The Vikings are up 19-14, and we are seeing a different team in this 3rd set, and it all starts with the serving.
Yeah, the first time we've seen the Vikings be successful on offense, and the first time we've seen the Seawolves being able to dig out some of those balls this game.
Abby May with another serve here, another good one. Floyd across to Stevens, and Stevens just continues with the fantastic attacks. She only has 1 attack error to her credit. 17 kills, and she is close to a 500 hitting percentage. And with that amount of kills and that amount of attempts, that's incredibly impressive.
Plus, she's coming off that 22-kill game. If this game goes into another set, she's hitting 20. I guarantee that.
Vikings will take it 20-15, and they lead. Tupelo is going to serve. And the Vikings had 3 aces only, but they've had 3 in the last few points. A couple by Heilborn, one by Abby May, and Tupelo again. Tapped over at Stevens. 18 kills already for Stevens. We're only in the 3rd set, too.
It's ridiculous. She is just unstoppable for the Seawolves.
Stevens, the senior. She's from Palmer, Alaska. Really coming alive here. It's not necessarily new, but she might be having the best match of her career tonight here at WECU Court. Vikings may have gotten, actually check that, Anchorage may have gotten away with a double hit there, but to no avail. 2 straight points for Anchorage. Vikings are up 3. Vikings trying to force a 4th, maybe even a 5th set here as Stevens again. 19 kills.
She's amassed 20 kills in 3 matches this season. Those hitting percentages for the matches were only 300, though.
And a great job by Aliaga to dump it over. Vikings are in the driver's seat here in this 3rd set. They know they still have a long ways to go, but for the first time tonight, they can see the 25-point threshold actually in effect. That's a good dig right there. Out of system play. Heilborn sends it to the middle, and that's a good dig right there. Floyd over to Stevens, and somehow dug out by Lalogo, but it goes out of bounds. And that is kill number 20 for Stevens.
Wow. Last time these teams faced, Stevens had 21 kills on a 333 hitting percentage. Right now she's got a 475. Really impressive numbers for her.
And that was also in 3 sets. But Ritzesender sends it through. And if the Vikings trade points with the Seawolves, they'll take this 3rd set. But they just need to avoid having the Seawolves go on a run of their own as Ritzesender sends it through, and the Vikings will need her to keep doing that for the rest of the match here if they want to win this thing. Floyd over to Stevens, and I feel like a broken record right now. 21 kills, and I believe she's made it up to 500, or at least close to it. 488.
And a look at her career. Last year she got her 3rd straight unanimous all-GNAC team and her 2nd straight AVCA 2nd team.
And I believe she will probably be going for GNAC Player of the Year, at least offensively. But Heilborn with the kill. Vikings 2 points away from taking this 3rd set. Aliaga. Good serve by the senior. Out of system play. Blue goes for the middle, and that dug out by Woodruff. Aliaga over to Kepley. That one goes out. Good eyes by Anchorage. Vikings were on the offensive. As Jane comes in the match now. Blue is going to serve. Vikings up by 3.
And so far, that's been what the Vikings have had to deal with. Their main points of offense with Kepley and Heilborn, just under 150 hitting percentage, both of them.
And Heilborn sends it through. And that was also a fantastic one-handed set by Aliaga to save it. And Zen, in the first 2 sets, those kind of points weren't falling. Now they are. And we're going to keep things here as the Vikings lead Alaska Anchorage 24-20 here in this 3rd set. And I wouldn't say by any means that the Vikings finally woke up, because they have shown in the start of the first 2 sets that they were in it, but they have avoided Anchorage going on long runs, and they've had long runs of their own.
Yeah, and it's been very similar to the last time these last 2 teams played. When they faced in Alaska, none of the Vikings reached double-digit kills in that sweep. And that sweep also snapped a string of 103 consecutive conference matches without a 3-0 loss. That dated back to 2015. Of course, Seawolves swept them in that one. Right now they're up 2-0, but the Vikings only 1 point away from a victory. They have no players in double-digit kills, but of course a chance to do that if they take this set and go into a 4th one. Vikings are 2-2 in 5-set matches, and that's the only outlook for them in this game, is they're down 2-0 so far, so they have to push it into 5, but they need to capture this 1 point that they need here to keep them alive, and we'll see that 4th set incoming.
And I remember calling that match, Zen. That actually wasn't even here at WECU Court, as Carver Gymnasium was going through renovations at the time. That was at Whatcom Community College. A 3-set sweep in dominating fashion. Vikings that season actually made it to the Final Four and actually came back from a 2-0 deficit at Alaska Anchorage as they hosted the regional tournament that year. Ostridge. Aliaga back to Ostridge and sends it through! And for the first time this season, the Vikings have actually, ironically, won a set against Alaska Anchorage. As you can see on this replay, the redshirt freshman, Devin Ostridge, absolutely dominating that ball. And we're going to go to another break here. Vikings force a 4th set. They're going to try to force a 5th set. and steal this match here at home. We'll be right back. And welcome back to WECU Court. GNAC battle between the Vikings and the Seawolves. Seawolves dominating the first two sets, but the Vikings took the third set 25-21. We're going to the fourth set. Zed, let's go over some stats real quickly before this starts.
Yeah, looking at that third set, even though the Vikings did win it, Seawolves had more kills. They had a better hitting percentage as well. The only difference was Seawolves made some errors that we haven't seen them made earlier in this match. The Vikings also found themselves 4 aces to the Seawolves 0, which was the first time the Seawolves did not have an ace in any of these sets so far.
Abby May serving the start here, and she gets an ace, and that's a great way to start this fourth set, and why Coach Diane Flick-Williams had her serve the start.
That'll be her second ace on the game. Her, Abby May, Aliaga, and Halborn all have 2 aces. The logo with 1.
Abby May serves it again. Another good serve, and she gets another ace. The Vikings up 2-0 now. Abby May is going to serve again.
And that was twice that Eve Stevens was unable to get the dig right there.
I don't know what Abby May is doing right now, but another good serve, and Ritza Sender sends it back. And you got to credit Abby May, even by not even getting that ace. She is serving fantastically here in this fourth set, all night long rather, but definitely in these last 3 points.
And they needed it from her. Unsung heroes for the Vikings so far in these last 2 sets.
Well, especially since Abby May all season has been the serving specialist. Another block at the net! And the Vikings are up 4-0 to start this fourth set.
You can tell the confidence and momentum has shifted. A lot of energy coming from the Vikings and the fans. Seawolves had quieted everyone down after those first two sets, with the Vikings carrying in that momentum from that third set victory.
Another good serve by Abby May. And the Vikings will be on the offensive here, but a little bit of miscommunication. Not necessarily miscommunication, but just not knowing that Heilborn was right there to take it. But a great start and great serving by Abby May on the first 5 points. Floyd is going to serve here. She has good serving to her credit as well. As Kepley goes by, that's deflected and in. Vikings up 5-1. Tupulalogo is going to come in to serve.
And the Vikings are up by 4 early. This is the first time that we've seen either team take an early lead. It's usually been back and forth to start these sets, but the Vikings up early.
Tupulalogo, the senior, serving it for the Vikings. No rotation on that one. That one was handled well. Deflected. Ostridge right there. Now on the offensive, goes for the middle. Blue right there to dig it out. Floyd behind her back. Stevens, and that one dug out. Right there. Good job. Tries to go long, but unfortunately hits it. But some good defense by the Vikings on that attack error. So Anchorage is now down 3. Madison Galloway in the match now. The freshman, she's going to serve.
Galloway had the ace earlier in the match. Seawolves are great serving all over their team.
Cross court. They're going to call for the deflection, and they're not going to get it.
Wasn't sure on that one. Don't have an opinion for that one, whether or not it should be challenged.
And it doesn't look like they're arguing too much. They may have been just hoping that it was deflected. Another serve by Anchorage. Eliaga over to Ritza center, sends it through and in. Vikings up 6-3.
And that attack right there, deflected off the top of the net, probably just confused the defense on which way it was going to traject. That led to the kill right there.
And you know what this is doing, Zed? These two redshirt freshmen for the Vikings, showing that despite having a very solid core of seniors playing a majority of the time, Vikings have a great future. Another good dig. Heilborn on the attack, and that's a great dig by Anchorage. On the attack, Blue goes for it. She hits it into the net. Bounce back. They're calling for 4 points. It looks like that was maybe blocked back and dumped over by Aliaga. Vikings are up 7-3.
That right there, lucky break for the Vikings to end up getting the point either way right there. It seemed on the Seawolves attack that it deflected off the net, yet they kept it in play as if it was blocked. But the Vikings get the point either way.
And Ostridge is going to serve. And even if something like that happens, that goes way long. So service error, unfortunate for the Vikings, but definitely something that they can handle if they're in the lead, not they're coming from behind. Leo One-Eye with another good serve. Somehow Heilborn got a lot on that one, but they're going to get, looks like they're going to get Floyd for maybe going on the other side of the court and making some contact with a Viking player.
Yeah,
let's see here.
Came down on the landing in the Ritza Center.
Hopefully she is okay on that one. That's another good serve by Woodruff. On the attack, Stevens with placement. Woodruff right there. Aliaga over to Heilborn. That is dug out. Some great volleyball being played tonight. Stevens sends it through. She's trying to get things going. Stevens now quiet only for a little bit of time here in the fourth set, but she now has 22 kills to her credit, and she's going to serve. Good serve by her. Handled well by the Vikings. Tough move right there. A little bit of tough set, but that one is blocked. Set back, and that is some great reaction time by Anchorage. Aliaga was right there, but Heilborn sends it through. Another good reaction time on the block. Tapped over. Floyd behind her back. Sent through, that is blocked, and sent back. Heilborn. Fantastic defense by both teams. Vikings come out on top. Vikings are up 9-5 here as Kepley comes in for Lalogo.
This is just phenomenal. Volleyball being played from both sides. The effort is there from both sides. This fourth set is massive. Both teams know it. One has a chance to take it home. Vikings have a chance to extend it to that fifth set.
And Aliaga's going to serve. Switches it up, does the floater. Aliaga. Actually, check that. Sorry, Floyd. Over to Blue. Aliaga, cross court to Heilborn, sends it through and it goes out of bounds. Heilborn coming alive here. 9 kills to her credit. And Coach Chris Green is going to call timeout for Alaska Anchorage, and we're going to go to a break. We have a classic brewing here. Vikings up 10-5 here in this fourth set. We'll be right back. And welcome back to WECU Court. 9th-ranked Seawolves taking on the 10th-ranked Vikings. Vikings down 2-1. They're up 10-5 here. Vikings with the momentum now. Stevens sends it through, and she continues to have a fantastic night. 23 kills, 25.5 overall points, by far leading both teams.
And you can see how hard she hit that ball. It deflected off the net. Seemed to deflect on mostly her side, but it just rolled over, and the net is still bouncing from that strong hit. Vikings unable to get a point out of a timeout again this game.
Aliaga cross court. The Heilborn deflected right there. Floyd behind her back. Stevens goes for the middle of the court, and Kepley tries to dig it out, and Stevens gets a kill again. 24 kills for the senior. 2 straight points for Anchorage. They're down 3.
Her season high for kills is 31. That was in the preseason.
On the offensive, Kepley tries to go in the middle of the court, right at the net. Double. Aliaga right there. Out of system play, a little bit of miscommunication. Ostrich just has to send it over. Stevens gets it again, dug out by Woodruff. Aliaga behind her back to Kepley, lefty, dug out by Stevens. Tapped over, Aliaga right there. Out of system play, Tree over to Kepley, goes in the middle of the court, Floyd right there. Plumhoff over to Stevens, goes for the middle, but she hits the net. A rare attack error tonight for Stevens. That's only her second.
Rare miss right there. Casey Woodruff playing great defense for the Vikings. She's got 19 digs. Her season high is 24. She's been showing out all over the court, keeping these plays alive. And the Vikings have come alive in this.
Heilborn, another good serve. Out of system play, Stevens tries it again, and that's a good dig by Heilborn. Aliaga saves it. Heilborn goes for it. Dug out by Stevens. Again, on the attack, taps it over. Kepley right there. Aliaga tapped over by Tree. Vikings still on the offensive. Cross court, over to Ostrich, and she gets it in there.
Might see a challenge here.
And I don't blame Coach Chris Green for potentially challenging that one. But from here, it definitely looked like it was in. But you don't get to take them home.
As you always say.
I do always say that.
Especially in a close game like this, why not take a look at it? And
yes, definitely, as that could change the momentum here. If the call on the court stands, Vikings are up by 5. If it doesn't, Vikings will only be up 3 with Anchorage serving. So it's very hard to kind of look to the next match when this great of match is going on right in front of our eyes. But the Vikings will go on after this one to Northwest Nazarene next Thursday to 27th. That's going to be 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. And then next Saturday, they're going to take on in-state rival Central Washington. Those matches are always close and fun Saturday. And that one's going to be a 1 p.m. start. As basketball season probably gets started here as well. Next home match for the Vikings will be on the 3rd of November against Western Oregon and the 5th of November against St. Martin's. That one's going to be a 7 p.m. start on that Thursday the 3rd and a 5 p.m. start on November 5th against St. Martin's.
Biggest match on the schedule is this one, though, right here for the Vikings.
Without a doubt. Definitely not looking too far in the future here. And let's see what happens here. We're going to see if that's going to change, and it doesn't. The call on the court stands. And from here, it looked like it was in, but I also don't blame Coach Chris Green for challenging that one.
Yep, just trying to shift the momentum back to his side. We saw Diane Flick-Williams try to do in those first 2 sets, but unsuccessful, and the Vikings are up 5 on a good run. They've been playing great in these last 2 sets.
And Heilborn is serving it, middle of the court. Stevens right there to send it back. Good hustle. Little bit of miscommunication there. Kepley goes for the middle, and she gets it. The southpaw right in the middle of the court. Vikings up 6.
Leao and I frustrated with herself. She's going to dig that one out, but that was just a hard hit ball from Kepley. Hard one to stop right there, and Kepley's been very strong for the Vikings. 9
Leao
kills.
One Eye has 23 digs, so I don't blame her for that. As that one's in. Great job again by Stevens. 25 kills.
She has just been ridiculous. She's had 53 offensive total attacks. She's got over 400 for her hitting percentage.
Aliaga over to Kepley. She sends it in, and it's right there. Vikings up 14-8. Vikings have Abby May, who has been vital tonight, serving up 6.
And Gabby Kepley, the sophomore, reaches double digits for the Vikings in kills.
And Abby May started this set off with a couple of aces. Vikings started up 4-0. Another good serve. Dumped over, and that is a veteran move right there by Ellen Floyd. Taking advantage of the middle of the court, and she's going to serve.
She's found herself success time and time again in this game with that move right there. She's got 4 kills just off of that. 36 assists to her name also.
And she is definitely having the great match to her credit. Kepley tries it again, and she gets it. Blocked and sent out. Vikings up 6. Lologo is going to serve.
Gabby Kepley, one of those players for the Vikings that just comes alive in some games. When Maritza Center and Heilborn aren't necessarily the stars, it'll be Kepley, and she's definitely making noise.
Lologo goes right in the middle and goes out. Service error by Lologo. Vikings still up 5.
And the Vikings, who look to Lologo to be their service specialist, has 2 service errors for them.
And serving it is Madison Galloway for Anchorage. Heilborn Aliaga tapped over Baritza center, read like a book like Floyd. 50-50 ball, sent over. Great job by Blue. 2 straight points for Anchorage. Vikings are now only up 4.
Nicole Blue, who during her freshman season saw 30 of 31 matches, has been a constant rotational player.
Ritzesender sends it, and it goes out! On the block attempt, and I'm sorry, Zen, for interrupting you on that one. But
when
this game is crazy.
When it's electric, stats don't matter.
16-11, Vikings lead. Ostridge is going to serve. Good serve by Ostridge. Blue on the attack, deflected. Woodruff right there. Aliaga cross court to Heilborn, and that's a good dig by Floyd. Out of system play, Blue goes for it. Dug out by Ostridge. Aliaga over to Heilborn, and that's a great dig. Madison Galloway. Stevens goes for it, and she doesn't get it. I thought she was going to. Floyd dumps it over, tapped over again. Dug out of system play. Stevens goes for it, and dug out by Ostridge. Aliaga dumps it over, and that's dug out by Floyd. Out of system play, Stevens tries it again, and she gets it. That is insane. Great job by both teams, but Stevens again comes out on the clutch side. 26 kills to her credit. She also has 9 digs.
Approaching that double-double range she's used to seeing this season.
Ostridge right there. Aliaga on the offensive. Heilborn tries to find the middle of the court. That's a good dig by Anchorage. Over to Ritza Center, tries to find the middle of the court. Floyd right there. Stevens on the attack again. The logo. And that was a tough set as Heilborn was on her back heels as she hits it. So 2 straight points by Anchorage.
And someone who we haven't seen in this set as much for the Seawolves is Isabel Evans playing that middle blocker role. We've seen Leilani Elder take that spot right there, maybe try and get more offense out of her.
Leila One Eye serving it well. Dumped over on the attack. Ostridge right there. Aliaga over to Ritza Center. Again on the attack. Stevens again.
Vikings losing some of that momentum. Seawolves are crawling back as they were down big, regaining what they had going in those first 2 sets. Just a few mistakes from the Vikings and some mishits.
Leia One Eye with the serve. Aliaga. And that one put forth, and that's a great dig by Callaway. Stevens again, and she gets it. Vikings cannot stop Stevens, and Coach Diane Flick-Williams is going to call a timeout. Vikings up 1. We're here in this 4th set as Anchorage is up 2-1. We'll be right back. And welcome back to WECU Court. Vikings clinging to a 1-point lead here in the 4th set. They need to win this set to force a 5th. Anchorage trying to come back here and win this 4th set. They won the first 2 in dominating fashion. Vikings won the 3rd set 25-21. And we're in control, up 16-11. 4 straight points by Anchorage since then as Ostrich, the redshirt freshman, comes out of the timeout with the point. And Zen, ever since Coach Diane Flick-Williams put in Ostrich and Tree, 2 redshirt freshmen for 2 seniors, the Vikings have kind of been a different team.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect it, too, if you're taking out Gabby Gunterman, of all players especially, and Ostrich has been a dominant force.
And Stevens again, as she is 1 kill away from being in the 30 range, which is absolutely insane, as she's going to also serve. Vikings cling again to a 1-point lead. Also serving it well as the Vikings get to Ostrich actually on that attack. That was a pretty good attack by Ostrich. And Stevens is just absolutely in the zone tonight. 30 kills for the senior, a .443 hitting percentage. She also has 9 digs. She has 2 assists, and she has an ace. She has accounted for 31.5 points tonight.
Ridiculous performance. She finds herself atop 3 of the major statistical categories in the GNAC, and she's showing that.
Deflected. Anchorage again on the offensive. Stevens again. Somehow the Vikings dig out one of her attacks as Blue puts it away. And Anchorage, for the first time in this set, they take a lead 18-17.
Seawolves are just able to find success consistently. I mean, of course, from Stevens, but then you have Blue and then you have Jane, who are both not missing tonight as much as the Vikings' offensive attacks have been.
Nice save by Aliaga, but that's a good dig by Callaway. Stevens again on the attack, and she gets it again. 31 kills for the senior. Anchorage now up 2. Anchorage is on a 7-1 run. Stevens with another good serve on the offensive, and a good offensive play here to get back into it. Heilborn with the kill. Kepley back in, Lalogo out. Aliaga's going to serve.
And that right there gives Heilborn her 10th kill on the match. She's also got 8 digs, so approaching that double-double. Would join the company of Stevens in that.
And that's a good serve. Tapped over. Out of system play. Kepley sends it through. That was kind of hard to see if that was blocked or not. They're asking for a double hit by the redshirt freshman Tree, but that one goes through. They're not going to get it. And we're tied here at 19. Aliaga, another good serve, but that one handled well by Blue. On the offensive, a little bit of miscommunication. Now the Vikings on the offensive. Tree sends it through, but that's blocked and sent back. Leilani Elder right there, the sophomore. Jane in the match, as well as Plumhoff to replace Blue.
And Elder right there. Missed the block on the last play, but got it back for her team. She's always due for a pair of blocks or so in this match.
As that one is going to be 4 hits, so that's going to be an ace for Plumhoff. Anchorage now 4 points away from taking this match here. Vikings need to dig deep here. Plumhoff, the sophomore from Diamond High School in Anchorage. Midway serve. Gets it right there. Ostrich right. Aliaga over to Heilborn. Sends it. And a much-needed point for the Vikings as they're down 1 now.
And this is the crunch time for the Vikings. Your home winning streak is on the line here. You need 5 points to take it into a 5th set where you still have to execute after that. Seawolves have been dominating this game, with the Vikings holding on.
Heilborn needs a good serve, and she doesn't get a great one. Stevens just continues to dominate. 32 kills for the senior. Seawolves now 3 points away from taking this match.
She's now a Masters season high in kills.
And what's impressive about it, too, 32 kills, a .469 hitting percentage. Woodruff right there. Aliaga cross court. Ostridge, and that's a good dig by the sophomore. But a little bit of miscommunication here. That was a tough one for the Seawolves, but they still lead by 1. But the Vikings have Abby May serving.
Who else would you want for the Vikings in this moment like this right now? You need a great serve to try and help your team get tied and then take the lead. Abby May's the person to get it done.
And that's a good serve right on the 50-50 ball. And a great job by Anchorage. That was a good serve, but fantastic job by the Seawolves. So you can see on this replay, there's going to be a timeout on the floor by Diane Flick-Williams. We're going to keep things here. And the Vikings, 2 points away from losing their first match of the season here at WECU Court. And we had mentioned this earlier in the match. The winner of this match here has a good chance of hosting regionals in mid-November.
And what we've seen from the Seawolves is just an offensive domination by Eve Stevens. I mean, when you're hitting on almost half of every single attack, Vikings just have no answer. Eve Stevens came into this game with 357 kills on the year. That gives her first in the GNAC, and that is 92 more kills than second place, which is Tia Allen of St. Martin's, who's at 265. So almost 140 more points than anyone else in the GNAC, almost 100 kills more than anyone else in the GNAC, and with a hitting percentage in this game of 469, it is just ridiculous out here. The Vikings have not been nearly as close as offensively with consistency, with Kepley at 233, Heilborn with a 170 and a 162 hitting percentage as a team. Seawolves, they always hit the ball efficiently. They lead the GNAC in hitting percentage on the year, and they're showing it today here at WECU Court.
Vikings trying to force a fifth set. Ellen Floyd serving it for Anchorage, 2 points away. Aliaga over the Ritza Center, and that's good defense by Anchorage. Aliaga over to Kepley, sends it through and in. Or out, rather, but it was deflected as Kepley gets another kill. She leads the Vikings with 13.
And the urgency is here. Crowd somewhat on their feet for the Vikings. We got a crowd of nearly 1,500 supporting the Vikings. Most I've seen in Carver.
Logo's going to serve here. Needs a good serve, and it's in! And the coach is going to challenge that one. A definite good move by Coach Chris Green. And we are going to challenge this one as if we needed any more drama tonight. That one was called on the court as an in serve. This could be a turning point in the winner of this match here, because if the Vikings get this point, we are tied here at 23. 2 straight points by either team will win this set. But if they go to replay and determine that it went out, Anchorage will be on match point.
Yeah, and Chris Green, the whole Seawolf bench reacted very, upset at the call. So they might have a better angle at it than I did. I thought it was in. But, of course, replay system knows all. This is definitely going to potentially decide the entire match right here. If the Vikings can push it into a fifth set or not, we won't know what happens from there. But Alaska Anchorage just crawling their way towards that 22-2 record. It seems we're going to get the call here.
And we're going to see what happens here. And the call on the court is overturned. Anchorage with the point, and they are at match point now. Huge call.
Could be a game decider right here. If they get a good serve, Seawolves could be walking out here victorious.
We are at match point here as Anchorage wouldn't be an upset, but it would be a huge victory for the Seawolves here.
And it would end a 31-match Carver Gym winning streak.
crowd is screaming right now. Woodruff, Aliaga, over to Ostridge, and she gets it through. A much-needed point for the Vikings. Vikings are going to serve. Anchorage still on match point as Devin Ostridge, the redshirt freshman, is going to serve. Vikings down 1.
She had a service error earlier in this set. Needs to dial it in. It's a huge one. Could finish the game.
On the attack, Stevens, who else? And that's how this match is going to end. Anchorage wins this 4th set, and they win the match 3-1. Valiant effort by the Vikings to come back here. They were absolutely dominated in the first 2 sets, but they won the 3rd set. They almost took this 4th set, but you got to give a lot of credit to Alaska Anchorage and especially Eve Stevens, who ended the match with a kill. She had 33 kills, a .477 hitting percentage, somehow had 3 assists, which I don't know how she was even able to get those. She seemed like she was always on the attack, but no outside hitter even came close to the amount of kills that she had for both teams. But the Vikings, they fall to 10-2 in the GNAC and 15-5 overall. Alaska Anchorage improves to 12-1 in the GNAC and 22-2 overall, as the Vikings will go on the road now. They're going to face Northwest Nazarene on Thursday. Game time, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. And then next Saturday, in-state rivals, Central Washington. On the 29th, that game time will be 1 p.m. And Zen, let's go over some quick stats from the match here. But it's going to be pretty much dominated by one person.
Yeah, that's exactly how it was. I mean, we know Eve Stevens dominated for the Seawolves, and the Seawolves as a team dominated. A .308 hitting percentage. That's a fantastic mark for them, as it's more over about 70 more than their average, which is a .230. Vikings only had a .172. Vikings just weren't efficient enough, and the Seawolves were absolutely unstoppable on offense. The errors that the Vikings made, plenty of attack errors and some service errors as well. It was just too much for the Vikings here at home in a 31-game Carver Gym win streak that was lasted till 2015 is now over, and the Vikings are just looking ahead, shaking it off, going to their next opponent, and they'll be looking for the Seawolves in the GNAC tournament for sure later.
And both teams will likely face other teams in the regional, but they could easily meet up in the regional championship or even at some point in regionals. It depends on the rankings. Both teams likely to go, as it's 3 conferences, the GNAC, the Pac West, and the CCAA. Top 8 teams, Vikings and Anchorage at the top of that, but a great performance by Anchorage. Great job by Western Washington University to climb back into it, but the Seawolves were just too much for them. Eve Stevens, again, 33 kills, 9 digs, and just an overall fantastic performance, 35.5 points. And the Seawolves come to Bellingham and take it in 4 sets. I'm Sean Church alongside Zen Hill. Have a good night. Talk to you soon.